Dear students, today we are going to continue the session that we had learnt earlier also, that is Euclid division lemma. Today we will do more questions on it. So see example 2 of NCERT, that is show that every positive integer is of the form 2q and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1 where q is some integer. So what you have to prove that there is any positive integer. If it is even, you have to prove that it is of the form 2q. And if it is odd, then you have to prove that it is of the form 2q plus 1. Clear? So for this, let us take a as any positive integer and b as 2. So by Euclid division lemma, we know that a is equal to bq plus r, where a is the dividend, b is divisor, q is quotient, and r is remainder, and where the value of r lies between 0 and b. It can be equal to 0, but it cannot be equal to b. It will be always lesser than b. So when we put the value of b here, which we have assumed that here it is 2, so it will become a is equal to 2q plus r. Now possible values of r are 0, 1, 0 and 1. Only these two values are possible. So a is equal to, when we put r is equal to 0, it will become 2q, and when we put r is equal to 1, it will become 2q plus 1. So now see, if a is positive even integer, then a is equal to either 2q or a is equal to 2q plus 1. So we have proved this question. Now see another question of exercise 1.1, question number 4 it is, from NCERT book. Use Euclid division lemma to show that square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1 for some integer m. So now in this question, we have to prove that the square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. So we will assume here that b is equal to 3. We will let a as any positive integer and b is equals to 3. So according to Euclid division lemma, it will become a is equal to 3q plus r. Instead of b, we put here the value of b as 3. So it becomes a is equal to 3q plus r. Now we know that the value of r cannot be greater than 3. It will be always less than 3. So possible values of a can be 3q, 3q plus 1, 3q plus 2. So we will separately discuss all these three cases when a is equal to 3q, and when we square on both sides, then it will left hand side will become a square and right hand side will become 3q square. It will be 9q square. That is, a square is equal to 9 can be written in the form 3 into 3 into q square. Now if we suppose this portion 3q square as m, this will become 3m. Okay, now it becomes a square is equals to 3m. Now we will discuss more cases, that is the case number 2, when a is equal to 3q plus 1. When we square on both sides, we will get a square is equal to 3q plus 1 whole square. On applying the identity, as you already know that in your 8th standard you have read about the identity, that is x plus y whole square. It will be x square plus 2xy plus y square. We are opening this bracket, we are solving this part using identity. Now it will become 9q square plus 6q plus 1. When we take 3 common from first two terms, it will become 3 into 3q square plus 2q plus 1. Let this portion is m. So now a square will become 3m plus 1. So now let us discuss the third case of it, that is when a is equal to 3q plus 2. Again, when we square on both sides, it will become a square is equal to 3q plus 2 whole square. When we open the bracket using identity, it will become 9q square plus 12q plus 4, and plus 4 can be written as 3 plus 1. Why we have written it 3 plus 1? So that we can take out 3 as common in the next step from first 3 terms here. Now it will become a square is equal to 3 into 3q square plus 4q plus 1 plus 1. Plus 1 we have written as it is. Okay. Now let us assume that this portion is again m, 3q square plus 4q plus 1 as m. So now a square is equal to 3m plus 1. So here you have seen that only two possible values of a are possible. That is, one is 3m and other is 3m plus 1. So square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. We have proved that. Okay. Now next topic is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. As per our learning sequence, the next topic is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Before going on directly on this topic, fundamental theorem of arithmetic, I want to introduce. I want you to introduce these two terms, prime number and composite number, that you have learnt in your previous classes, that is in 4th or 5th, 6th standard. You have read about. So I think now you have forgotten. So let us revise prime number. What are the prime numbers? An integer p is said to be prime number if its only divisors are 1 and p. That means अगर कोई number सिर्फ 1 और itself से divisible है, that type of number is known as prime number. For example, 2, 3, 5 and 7, etc. and so on. That means smallest even prime number is 2 and no other even prime number is there. Smallest even prime number is here 2. What are composite numbers? The numbers other than prime numbers are known as composite number, or you can say that if any integer m is there and it has divisors other than 1 and m, that means it has divisor other than 1 and itself, then it will be known as composite number. For example, 4, 12, 18, 35, etc. Okay, it has factors other than 1 and itself. For example, when we factorize, when we will do the prime factorization of 12, it will become 2 into 2 into 3. When we do prime factorization of 18, it will become 2 into 3 into 3. When we will do prime factorization of 4, it will become 2 into 2. So all these are composite numbers. Now, here is the definition of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, that every composite number, now you are familiar with what are the composite numbers. So every composite number can be expressed as product of primes. As you have seen above also, all the composite numbers can be written in the form of product of primes. So every composite number can be expressed or factorized as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. You can write here also 3 into 2 into 2. For 12, you can write 3 into 2 into 2. Order doesn't matter here. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of HCF? As you know, its full form is highest common factor, but what is its meaning? It is the product of the smallest power each prime factor in the number. Product of the smallest power of each prime factor in the numbers. When we will do the question, this concept will be more clear to you. What is the meaning of LCM? It is the product of greatest powers of each prime factor in the numbers. So these two concepts will be clear by doing this example. Let us do example 6 of NCERT. if you have to find the LCM and HCF of 6 and 20 by prime factorization method, then firstly you will do the prime factorization of 6. It will be 2 into 3. Then we will do the prime factorization of 20. It will be 2 into 2 into 5 and can be written as in the form of exponents as 2 into 2 raised to power 2 into 5. So common factor here is 2. Common factor is 2. So what is HCF? What you have learned in the definition of HCF, that it is the product of the smallest power of each prime factor. So now smallest power of 2 is 1 here, so HCF will be 2. Now if we talk about LCM, it is the product of the greatest power of the prime factors. Now see what are the prime factors here in both of them, 2, 3 and 5. And what is the highest power of 2? It is 2 raised to power 2. So in the LCM we will take 2 raised to power 2 multiply 3 multiply 5. It will become 60. Okay. In this way you can find out the HCF and LCM using prime factorization method. One more thing I want to clear you, that always remember this thing. When we multiply LCM and HCF both, it will be equal to the product of two numbers for which we are finding the LCM and HCF. Always remember this fact, because this fact we will apply in the next questions. For example, we are discussing now example 7 of NCERT. Find the HCF of 96 and 404 by prime factorization method, and hence find the LCM. Now find out the HCF of, firstly we will do the prime factorization of 96. It is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, that is 2 raised to power 5 into 3. Then we will do the prime factorization of 404. It is 2 into 2 into 101, which can be written as 2 raised to power 2 into 101. Now HCF will become as 2 raised to power 2 is common in these two numbers. So the HCF will be 2 raised to power 2, that is 4. Now you know that the product of HCF and LCM is equal to product of two numbers, and you know that the two numbers are 96 and 404. So this can, by putting the values, this can be written as 4 into LCM is equal to 96 into 404. Okay, now in this way you can take out the LCM. The value of LCM will be 9696. On reducing the terms we will get LCM is equal to 9696. Okay, so next concept we will clear in the next class. Till then, take care.